Hello, SNA fans and assassinators all around the world in all ages, and man, what a entertaining pay per view! Like I'm so glad that I got done watching it. It was it had so many great moments, so many memorable matches, and two big returns in AEW. Well, mostly the first big return was the shocker of the night. I guess I could put it. This is where then we got. And then this is where we got the 0 hour show, which it was like first it was Thunder Rosa versus Deanna Purrazzo. This where and we also got the Acclaim and Daddy Ass taking on Brian Cage and Bishop Khan. This is where I'm gonna start off with the Virtuosa taking on the former AEW Women's World Champion Thunder Rosa. Which this was a very decent contest. I guess this was a perfect. This is the perfect place to do the match at, even though it was on the kickoffs rather than the main the real main show of Double or Nothing. But yeah, it was pretty good. Like though, it was still some extra for my entertainment. But I'm gonna get to the chase and get to the point that Thunder Rosa almost put her away with that. What's her finishing maneuver? That's like a pile driver. Right, but yeah, she tried to attempt to do the maneuver, but this is where Deanna Purrazzo rolls out of it into a surprise roll up, which is the most devastating move in sports entertainment or professional wrestling, I should say. She got the 1, 2, 3, and I was like, wow, like I was not expecting this, and this is not the only match that was not exactly how I predicted, like because I got two other matches that happened that I did not expect the winners to walk out as the opposite man or woman that I predicted to be. But the winner of this match is Deanna Purrazzo. Give her a little congratulations. And what your thoughts on this feud? Do you think it's far from over? Let me know down in the comments below. But before I get into the Acclaim against the Cage of Agony match, this is where we got a huge announcement of this year's 2024 Owen Hart. What's that match? The Owen Hart tournament match, and it was kind of similar to another company that did something similar to their recently, like on their tournament, to see who's going to be determined to face the championship, a world champion in their brand that they're representing at the biggest party of the summer, which that was similar to Tony Khan did, like where he proudly introduced, proudly to announce that. I mean, this is where he had Owen Hart's wife, Martha Hart, there to do the announcement with him. This is where he said, like, I'm proud to announce, like, there will be a third part 3 of the Owen Hart tournament for both of the men and women, and whoever wins the match not only gets the cup, the Owen Hart Cup, but also earned himself a men's and women's world championship match at All In. And I was like, that's very similar, like, and that's great news, and it's something that'll make the Owen Hart tournament more worthwhile and interesting, and see who's going to get an opportunity for the world championship with the likes of Swerve Strickland and Timeless Tony Storm, if they can retain their championships at the next pay-per-view at Forbidden Door, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. And I'll say, but the negative part of things, it's probably going to get a couple of criticism from the marks on Twitter, like dang, like he's copying off Triple H about like when Triple H made that announcement about a couple of days before King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view or premium live event. He said, like, whoever wins that match is going to earn himself a shot at the either world championship. Like, if you're from Raw, you're going for the World Heavyweight Championship. If you're SmackDown wrestler that won the King of the Ring, you're going for the WWE Championship. And then same with the women. Like, if you're a Raw Women's star, you're going after the Women's World Championship. Or if you're a SmackDown wrestler, you're going to go for the WWE Women's Championship. But let me know in the comments on who's your prediction or who should win the women's tournament and the men's tournament of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. All right, let me know down in the comment section right down below. But yeah, let's move on to the Acclaim and Daddy Acid. This match was nothing out of the ordinary, but yeah, it was still bearable to watch. This but I'm gonna get to the skinny. The Gates of Acne almost got the Acclaim and Daddy Acid right where they wanted them. Like when they hit the double triple power bomb, like they were the Shield. This is where they go for the cover, but and they would have gotten, but they didn't get the. They would have gotten the win and gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling freestyle kid, like Max Caster. And man, I don't understand why I keep saying this stuff. But yeah, this is where he helped them out. This is where we got the Acclaim to hit their finishing maneuvers onto the heels. They get the 1, 2, 3. This is where they celebrated with the Vegas Night the Vegas Night Tiger mascot, or was it was it a piranha, or what's it called, or what's that, or cheetah, or whatever it was. This is where he also scissored with them, and this is where they celebrated, and then this is where it was the end of that show, and we head into the real show, which is start off with Will Ospreay taking on Roderick Strong for the AEW International Championship. Man, this was a classic. Will Ospreay did not disappoint, and it's definitely getting getting the fourth place spot of the best match of the night. But this is where we got Roderick Strong kind of surprisingly got the upper hand. He started hitting backbreakers, some gut busters, and what's that? Some that stronghold Boston Crab onto Ospreay, but Ospreay managed to get right out of it. And then this is where we got Will Ospreay made a comeback. This is where then Don Callis was trying to get in his head. He was sitting next to the commentator. This is where he was like, hit the C9. What's that? The C9 Tiger Driver. This is where he was about to hit it, but this is where he was taking it back. But he shouldn't have done that, because it was not going to be a guarantee, because Roderick Strong was ready for him to try to attempt to do that so he could flip right out of it. That's what he did. He did what's that, angle slam? This is where he tried, and then he followed it up with a gut buster. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where Will Ospreay kicked out at 2.999, double triple 9 minus 0.1 away from being 3. This is where we got that's where then this is where we got Will Ospreay managed to come back in the match. This is where then we got the Undisputed Kingdom to try to go for distractions on them. And at first they were successfully hitting in strikes on him. This is where we got even Ward. This is where we got even was it Ward? Wardlow came out. I'm trying to remember, but all I can remember is we got but all I know is that we got Will Ospreay then hit him with the hitting blade. This is where we finally seen him hitting him with that double underhook twisting neck breaker. Well, he tried to go for that Tiger Driver, but he was like, nah, I don't think. I need to win necessarily win or to do that move. And then this is where he gets the move, the neck breaker on the Roderick Strong. I was cheering my ass off on this match, and I was like, come on, Will, get him, Will. And I was like, man, it's very rare for me to root against Roderick Strong. Well, now he's an obnoxious heel that won't stop shouting his arch rivals his first name, whether if it's Kyle O'Reilly, Will Ospreay, Orange Cassidy. He just shouts it out until he then normally says their last name. Yeah. So that's a good reason why I'm not a fan of him at the moment. But that's where we got Will Ospreay then beat him with hitting those moves right onto him. This is where he gets the pinfall victory. This is where he became the new AEW International Champion. I want to give a ginormous congratulations to the Aerial Assassin for finally doing it, getting the job done right onto what's his name? Onto Roderick Strong, and finally win an AEW Championship Gold over in All Elite Wrestling. But this is where we got this is where we got Adam Cole then came out there, and this was it was a total shocker. This is where he's like, "Who wants to hear story time with Adam Cole, baby?" And then this is where he's like, well, I'm not gonna tell you no story, like because you guys suck. And I was like, that's very harsh. Like, even though he's still awesome, and I'll say that's probably the only guy that I like in the Undisputed Kingdom right now. Like, regardless, with what role he's playing in, and whether he's a babyface or a heel, you know me, I'm a big Adam Cole fanboy, I guess you could say, in the wrestling community. But this is where then he said, like, I'm back. He told everybody that he's back in action, and he's gonna he's gonna go after the AEW World Championship, and then he's gonna be right back on top, even though he haven't held that championship yet, and then. Yeah, he's been out of action for a while, and now he's gonna remind everybody who exactly he is. And then once he do when he's on the very tippity top, you're gonna be you'll leave no choice but to say my name, and that is, and then doing the pose. And this is where he try to go for it again, do the Adam Cole baby like he did to the entrance. But this is where we got the lights went out. This is where we got we saw someone familiar was about to reveal himself, which we got a room that showed these picture frames of a certain Salt of the Earth, like when he stabbed Cody Rhodes in the back, and win the tag team championship with Adam Cole, the Ring of Honor tag team championship to be the exact, and also became the AEW World Champion, and showed a picture of him when he made his AEW debut, which was, I believe, at Double or Nothing, which was like 5 years ago. This is where they show the same same suit that he wore like back in 2019. This is where then he took the two pictures that were split in half, which it was both him and Adam Cole. And guess who? You won't believe who it is. It was none other than MJ freaking F. And I was like, where he came from? Like, I haven't seen him since since last year when I started making AEW pay-per-view review videos. Let me rephrase that. But yeah, this is where he came out there. This is where he was not fazed on what Adam Cole did to him about 4 months ago. This is where he give him a hug here. But this is where he then low blowed him. This is where then he hit him with a brain buster right in the middle of the ring. This is where he was like, MJF is back. And then this is where and this is where Adam Cole's like, yeah, I took the mask and I stole it from a man that called himself the devil, but like the true devil's right in here. But this is where the MJF's like all that, he's like, security, I need you to clean this. That's a huge what's it, sugar honey iced tea stain. And he was like, clean this sugar honey iced tea up. And no, he was not talking about a stain, like a very permanent stain of a ice cold sweet beverage. And this is where then he cut the chase. This is where he's like, it's not gonna be none of that. It's not gonna be none of that brochacho or double clotheslines and best friend and none of that other bull sugar honey iced tea that you made me believe, Adam, because that's all dead. And then this is where he's like, and then it could all that, all of that, what you did to me back a few months ago when the last time I was in AEW programming, you can take all that and then and make it suck a donkey's big fat. Yeah, you get the rest, which I cannot say the rest. But it's where he's like. And he's like, and I am I am a GD big deal right now, and I'm one of the best GD wrestlers of all time, and I didn't need to, I don't need. And then he said like he didn't need to be a name from New Japan or Vince McMahon. Fans were like, oh, you got that right, because even before AEW, you were making a name for yourself out in the independent scene. Even though it was a certain American Nightmare that's now the company that this particular Vince guy used to run is now it's WWE. I mean, its current champion, I should say. Well, I just mentioned the name of the company, but never mind. Pretend I didn't even say that. But yeah, this is where we got the WWE champion. But this is where MJF. And say like, and I don't need this mask because this is a sign of a coward and a man that backs down from a fight. Like, and I'm none of that anymore. Like, I'm a different and changed man, and I'm hunting for revenge. And this match, like, everybody that represents it and all the rest of the demons can go straight down the hill where they belong. And this is where he yelled at. And this is where he then stomped on it. And this is where he did the big elbow, like, or just a walking, running elbow strike right onto it. And then spat on it, threw it into the arena. Just where then MJF was like, yeah, Maxwell Jacob freaking Freeman is here, babe, back, everybody. And then he said, what he said, and he was like, and MJF is and nobody made Maxwell Jacob Freeman because MJF made Maxwell Jacob Freeman, and I am better than you, and you know it. Like, and he's like, and what he said, like, and what he said. And and he said something like, I'm the effing best or something. I don't know. Like, he used the F bomb as well. I was like, wow. Like, and they did not even censor it out. Like, I know it's partially because of a pay-per-view, but I was like, but that doesn't mean like you could go overboard. And I believe it was rated TV 14. I can understand the sugar honey iced tea word and maybe words that's below the F bomb, but I'm not sure like if they should have allowed him to say it even on the pay-per-view. But that's AEW decision. I'm gonna have no complaints about it. I'm just happy to see MJF back, and he's gonna be hunting for revenge on and starting off with Adam Cole, baby, or maybe going after one of the minions of the Undisputed Kingdom, whether that be Roderick Strong or Matt Taven or Mike Bennett, or even there's former what's that bodyguard? I guess you could say Wardlow. Yeah. Okay, excuse me for a moment. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below about MJF's return. Are you excited as much as I am? But yeah, I think he's gonna probably talk out Wardlow the join the Undisputed Kingdom. Calm down. But anyway, but yeah, this yeah, we're gonna talk about more. Just give me for a moment. What, Birdie Bird? But yeah, let me know down in the comments below. And I think this is going to take Forbidden Door. Are going to be at Forbidden Door, even though like it should be going to All In, which was the last time MJF fought Adam Cole in a one-on-one contest, which that will lead up to some long-term booking. But yeah, this next up we got who else wrestled? It was Thomas. Oh yeah, it was Thomas Tony Storm and Serena Deeb. At first, Serena. This is where we got the match. This is where we got Serena Deeb. Then it started off with Thomas Tony Storm getting the offense onto Serena. This is where we got Serena Deeb was getting most of the offense in, hitting some strikes and some punches and some strikes, punches, and some slamming like maneuvers. And this is where then she got her one hand at her finishing maneuver, that single-legged Boston Crab. This is where we got at an angle. We got Mariah May was trying to grab onto the surrender towel, the white towel, I should say. This is where she threw it right in the ring, but this is where Luther then tried to stop her from doing it, so she wouldn't cost Thomas Tony Storm the match. And if she knew like she was gonna and he knew that Thomas Tony Storm was gonna get the rope break. This is where like he was like, wait, and this is where Mariah May's like, but I can't take take my idol. I get taken and see my idol getting punished and brutalized like that. And this is where we got Luther was like, "But don't worry, it's not gonna last forever. Like we're like." It's not going to last. She's gonna eventually going to what's that she's gonna eventually she's gonna eventually gonna grab onto the ropes on the left side. This is where she did. This is where then Luther was like, see, like what you would have done, like would have pissed off Thomas Tony Storm, and then and she would have not only that, she would also would lose the women's championship, but you won't no longer be the champion because you just forfeited the, or not forfeit, more likely just through the match, and gave Serena Deeb the easy victory. But this is where then we got Thomas Tony Storm hilariously thought that Luther was about to throw the white towel right onto her. But this is where Luther was trying to explain, like, no, like I was not trying to do that. Like I was trying to stop Mariah doing it. This is where Thomas was like, whatever, like I'm not going to argue with you. This is where we got Serena Deeb got back into position. This is where then we got her trying to go for, what move was it? I believe was like a signature, but this is where Tony flipped out of it. This is where she sent her right into the corner. This is where Thomas Tony tried to go for a hip attack. This is where we got what's her name? Deanna. I'm not Deanna. I mean, what I'm talking about, Serena Deeb then flip out of it into a surprise roll up, which is the most devastating move in professional wrestling. But this is where we got Thomas Tony Storm kicks out of it. This is where we got what's her name? Serena Deeb then try to go for what's that? Try to go for, what move was it? It was try to go for like one move right off the top rope. This is where, or no, it was Thomas Tony Storm didn't try to go for a Storm Zero, but this is where Serena Deeb counters out of it. This is where she hits her with, what move was it? It was, what move was it? It was like some kind of a DDT, like DDT maneuver. This is where she picks her up. This is where she then nearly goes for try to go for a firewoman's carry maneuver, like off the top rope. But this is where Thomas Tony Storm flip right out of it. This is where she counters out of it and hits a Storm Zero right off the what's it called? What's that? What version of Avalanche Storm Zero? And this is where she followed up with a Storm Zero. Gets to 1, 2, 3, and the winner of this match, Timeless Tony Storm. And I want to give a big congratulations to the Timeless one. This is where she celebrated by running up to the stage. This is where she started rolling around down onto the floor, like with her AEW Women's Champion, with Mariah May, then start helping. But Mariah May started rolling around with her, and I was like, and I was thinking to myself, like, wait, why was Mariah May was about to forfeit the match? I was like, maybe it's because she did not want to see what's her name, Thomas Tony Storm, be in pain and suffering like she was like a couple weeks ago when she faced Serena Deeb. But on the other hand, it's like we could tease a split up with Thomas Tony Storm and Mariah May. Right down in the horizon, and maybe we could see Mariah May could be the one could defeat her, be the one that could dethrone her for the AEW Women's World Championship once she surpassed every championship holder's record, like Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa, and I think you already passed Thunder Rosa. I'll say more likely a Dr. Britt Baker DMD, but I'm gonna let you speculate in the comment section right down below. But this is where we got the Bang Bang Gang, then the defender at AEW Trios Undisputed Championships. This is where they got the upper hand like typical heels would do to the baby face as well. I would say most likely to pack at first until he tags in what's his name? Penta. This is where he was on the rampage. He was going doing wham bam thank you ma'am to all the Bang Bang Gang crew. This is where then we got a one hand this is where he tags in Ray Phoenix. This is where they try to go for the double team fear factor right onto Colton Gunn, I believe. But this is where we got and they would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling that meddling Austin kid that's ungrateful. One of the son of the guns, I guess you could say, no pun intended. But yeah, this is where he stopped him from hitting that maneuver onto his brother. But this is where we got Pac and come in. This is where then he sends him onto the outside. This is where, or was it? No, it was Ray Phoenix that did that. And then we got Jay White. Then through what's his name? Through Ray Phoenix on the outside, and this is where this is where then he got caught up with a roundhouse kick right into the midsection. This is where Pac then tried to go for a move right to the left side, but this is where he gets spinning Uranagi slam right by the switchblade. This is where we get this is where we got this is where we got the Death Triangle made a comeback, like when Jay White was the legal man. This is where then we got the Lucha Brothers pitches tag in Pac is where they go for a double suicide dive right onto the Gun Brothers once they did the Fear Factor onto Jay White. This is where the Pac try to go for go for the Black Arrow. This is where the referee was distracted by the Lucha Bros and the Gun Bros, like the Battle of the Brothers. This is where we got somebody going on the left side on the apron. This is why I was thinking to myself, like, why I didn't think of an outside interference, like could help out the Bang Bang Gang of winning, which that happened because it was this man that helped the Bang Bang Gang out was none other than their ally that was known to them as the Bullet Club Gold, which they're now known as Bang Bang Gang now, is Juice Robinson. This is where he came out. This is where he said, like, yeah, let's get this rocking and rolling. This is where we got Jay White then thank his ally. This is where then he hits the Blade Runner right onto Pac. He goes for the pin. He gets the 1, 2, 3, and still the AEW Trios champions. The Bang Bang Gang, most specifically Jay White, the Gun Brothers of Austin and Colton, even though like that's most of the group, that's most of the teammates, but now we got a new member that rejoined the Guns and Jay White, which is none other than Rock Hard Juice Robinson. This is where he started rocking, and this is where he picks up Jay White, and it's like it's about so much to celebrate. This is where he snatched some of the Trios Tag Team Championships, and then we got championship. They were holding on to him, even though there was like I believe Colton Guns, but yeah, all 4 of them were holding the 9 belts. And they're like, yeah, we got gold here. We got all the trios gold. This is where like we move on to the Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta match. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts on the Jay White versus not Jay White and the Gun Brothers versus Pac and the Lucha Brothers, which I would say the Bang Bang Gang versus the Death Triangle. But let's move on to the next slide. We got Orange Cassidy taking on Trent Beretta. And man, I did not expect this to even happen. I thought there was going to be some kind of outside shenanigans, but surprisingly, there wasn't. But once we got Orange Cassidy was heading out the ring, it looked like he was not going to show up. He's going to no-show when he faced Trent Beretta in the night, which Trent Beretta's like, don't tell him he's going to forfeit his match and then he's going to give me the easy win because he's too scared to face me like a real man. And that's where Orange Cassidy then came out with his other music, like doom, 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 doom. I was like, man, it's been probably like a year and a half since the last time I heard him play this theme song, and when he's as a single star, like. I was like, why did he come up with this theme music? Like, yeah, like maybe it's because it's gonna be extreme. Like, even though like they're not gonna be using any weapons, well, at least that's what I think they're gonna do. But this is where we get, we do get the match. This is where Trent Beretta try to do anything he can to take out Orange Cassidy. But this is where, all his methods would not work. Okay, you need batteries? Yes.
Do you have big ones?
Yes, I got the double A one.
Do you have big ones?
That's why you don't mess with the battery.
Do you have big ones?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yay. Gonna go this way.
Okay, but anyway, this is where he tried to do every move that he can, even that running knee strike to the face. But I believe Orange Cassidy. Okay. No, I think this is okay. This is
No. For this strong.
Okay. Uncle Johnson knows.
For this strong. Let's see.
But anyway, he tried to go for the orange punch, but he ducked. But I believe he got intercepted with a running knee, but that running psycho knee from Trent Beretta. But this is where he kicked out at 2.99999999999. Double triple 9 miles 0.1 away from being 3. This is where we got. You know what? Maybe you're right. Try to get some out of the the kitchen in the drawer. Okay. Anyway, this is where we got them try to go with that Kanoku driver maneuver.
Go get it. Ow.
Okay, I'll get it. One moment. No.
Do you find it?
Where are you? Okay. That's what I was saying. This is where we got Trip ready to try to go for it again, go for the knee strike, but this is where we. This is where it wasn't a guarantee. You know the rules. Like if it works, but not gonna be a guarantee. This is where we got Orange Cassidy. Then took a page out of what's his Billy Gunn, and this is where we got okay. This is where we got
Found it. I found my Luigi.
This is where we got
like Mario. Did you see it again like Mario?
Yeah, it is.
I need no Mario.
This is where we got
Mario one.
This is where we get a run. This is where we got Orange Cassidy there. Take a playbook up. Hey, down. Okay. Can you please be quiet?
Ouch! You hurt my stomach. You hurt me. You hurt me.
This is where we get this is where we have this is where we got I love you too, Birdie Bird. This is where we got Orange Cassidy did take a page out of Deonna Purrazzo and Billy Gunn's playbook. This is where we got him hitting the most devastating move in all of professional wrestling, which is the surprise roll up. He gets the 1, 2, 3. And I was like, what's up with everybody getting this? Like, even though what's up, not everybody, but you know what I mean. Like, what is up with everybody? With most people in the starter of the match, get the pinfall victory with that move. Like, maybe would have settled it being one besides Deonna Purrazzo. Well, maybe the acclaim makes sense as well because the match needed to, okay.
That's Daddy's. Put some out there. Those ones are bad.
Yeah.
Those ones are bad. Charge those up.
I can't charge them up.
No, charge them up. Charging them up. Yeah. Good morning.
One more, calm down. Stay still.
Okay.
But let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts on this match. Do you think it should have been some kind of a twist or some kind of interesting of events that should have happened at the match? Let me know down in the comments below.
Baby.
But yeah, let me know down in the comments below. But do you think it was perfectly fine like it was? But yeah, either way, just give me your opinions right down below. And let's move on to the next slide. We got But yeah, next up we move on to the next match, which I believe was the IWGP World Championship match with Jon Moxley taking on it was Kazuchika Shibata and Chris Jericho. Which it started off with Chris Jericho getting like we expected, getting targeted first. This is where we got him. But yeah, this is where we got Hook and Caddy or Shibata went right up to Chris Jericho. This is where we got. This is where then we got this is where we got Hook, but Hook going both guys like hitting exploder suplexes. This is where we got. But Shibata didn't start going hard on everybody. But Jericho at one hand, then he had what's it, Hook or Shibata won, but the other one went for the save, I guess you could say.
What's going on? I need help.
This is where then we got
What's going on? I need help. Okay, let's go.
this is where we got the Hook and Caddy or Shibata then got them right where they both wanted them. This looked like it's about the history we're about to repeat itself. On okay, I finally got it working. This is where when we got
Next. Can you do it? Can you do it? What happened? Silly. Yeah, what's this? Yeah, what's
I can't do it. But anyway, this is where we got both Shibata and Hook didn't hit their red rooms and their figure fours, and they almost won again. And luckily this didn't happen because we would not know who was the actual victor. This is where we this is where we got a hooded man that then attacks both Shibata and Hook from behind. This is where we got and it wasn't a big deal because he already got taken out by the two baby faces. This is where but it was revealed that this man was wearing a lucha mask. No, I can't find the lid, Treyu. This is where we got him wearing a lucha mask, and I was like, like when he took off his hood, I was like, we all know who it is. This is where the commentators was like, he looks very familiar. And yeah, it was none other than the bounty hunter Brian Keith when he revealed his when he took off the lucha mask. This is where then we got this is where then Hook then eventually then threw him on the outside, like, and this is where he knocked him out, like get out of here, like you're about to cost me my FTW championship, but it was too late because Jericho hits a Judas effect right onto Chris Jericho. I mean, right on the Hook. And then this is where we this is where we got Brian Keith there put that trash can right onto the head of what's his name of Caddy or Shibata. Here you go. No, this is. You see Uncle SNA's webcams right here. Why'd you play it right here on the side?
No. On the side.
But anyway, this is where we got Jericho took advantage, went for the pin on Caddy or Shibata, get the 1, 2, 3, and the winner of this match and steal the FTW World Champion, Chris Jericho. And he also gained I guess a learning tree student, I guess you could say, along with Big Bill. And we're going to probably see more about it on AEW Dynamite this coming Wednesday on the May 29th edition of the post show after this excellent pay-per-view. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what's going to be following up after this shocking of events. And then this is where we let's move on to the next slide. We got the IWGP World Championship, and it was like how I predicted right here. This was a prediction I predicted right here. Nothing's not going to stop John Moxley from stop John Moxley. I mean, nothing's not going to take down John Moxley and take away his IWGP World Championship. I was like, he's definitely gonna hold on to that title, maybe until Forbidden Door, or or even later on after Forbidden Door, which I'm not sure when that will be. But I would say, but I was right on this match. And then yeah, Forbidden Doors like at the end of June, like which will be at the end of the month, like at June 30th, 2024, of course. And what do you think what's gonna go down then? Like, who's gonna be fighting who? Like for which championship? Because there's a crossover AEW and NJPW pay per view. So I'm gonna let you do your speculation in the comments down below on what's gonna go down there. But let's move on to the next slide. Yeah, we got Kenosuke Takeshita try to do every move in the book in order to defeat what's his name, John Moxley. But every time he hits him with any of his moves, even in that spinning kick, Moxley kicked out until John Moxley came back, and this is where we got him hitting the paradigm shift. First he hit the Mox Cutter while he was doing a comeback. This is where we got him. This is where the Konosuke Takeshita did try to go for what's that? A move? What move was it? Like I believe that forearm strike, but this is where Moxley dodges out of it. This is where he turned it around like while he was in the offense side with a Death Rider, I believe it was. That's where he goes for a win. Go for the cover. He gets the 1, 2, 3, and the winner of this match and still the IWGP World Champion. And this is where he celebrated a little bit until they move on to the next match, which I believe was what match was it? It was the TNT Championship match. Yeah, it was the TNT Championship match, which that was up next. Yeah, it was and now it was. We got to the final match of the middle card, which was the Rated R Superstar versus Malachi Black in that barbed wire steel cage match. This is where we got we got them hitting every single move on the book. Well, we got what's his name drawing blood first, like on like when he hit him right face first, right onto the top part of the in the upper left side with the steel cage when they were up there. Is where but Malachi Black then came back and did some offense right onto the Rated R Superstar. Is where then he tried to driven his face right onto Tina the Turnbuckle that was wrapped around in barbed wire. Is where when he tried to go for an attempt, this is where Adam Copeland to start hanging on to the rope so he wouldn't get hit right into the face. But this is where he was slipping. But this is where he had a brilliant idea. This is where he hits an elbow strike right into the midsection. This is where that distracted what's his name, Malachi Black. This is where then he brought him right to that exact same corner. Started hitting right hands right into the face onto Malachi Black until he got into like a little over a half of 10, this like at 6 or 7. This is where Malachi Black flips right beneath him. This is where he trips him over face first. This is where he then smears his face right onto the top left corner side. This is where he was busted open. This is where we got Mal Copeland started bleeding out the red stuff. This is where the leader of House of Black thought he got him right where he wants him. This is where answer back with a knee strike, I believe. This is where he tried to go for a pinfall, but this is where he kicks out of it. This is where Malachi Black, I believe, hits a black mass kick, but this is where Adam Copeland kicks out 2.999999999. Double shot, might as well go away from being 3. And that's where we got Adam Copeland back on. This is where no, he tried to go for this is where he goes for a spear. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but Malachi Black eventually kicked out at 2.7. This is where he tried to put him right on the top rope in the bottom right side. This is where he tried to go for a top rope avalanche maneuver right into the table, but this is where Malachi Black counters and sunset foot power bombs him right off that table. This is where Malachi Black then this is where the Malachi Black then what's that? Try to go put him on that that other table, but this is where he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna like before I do that. This is where he grab onto this little I'll say this. I mean, not little, just ginormous barbed wire crowbar, I guess you could say. This is where he try to use it for his advantage right onto the current TNT champion. But this is where Adam Copeland kicks him right in the gut. This is where he puts him right onto the table. This is where then he then wrap him around with barbed wire. And I was like, yeah, wow. Like now I see why they call him the rated R superstar. And I'm not sure if it's in the I would say have anything to do with anything perverted. Related. Well, other than his own wife. And unfortunately, speaking of the Glamazon, she wasn't there tonight, obviously, to help out her husband. Like, for those that are aware, but for those that aren't aware, I thought I might let you know that. Here's where we got Adam Copeland to wrap him around to the point that he was not getting out, regardless of if he was out or not. Regardless, like if he was knocked out or not. Let me rephrase that. This is where then Adam Copeland was right on top of the steel cage, even though it had barbed wire on some of it. This is where Adam Copeland then managed to hit a flying dive right onto Malachi Black, landing right through the table. This is where he tried to go for the cover, but he only got a two two count. This is where, but. Is where like a 2.8, I believe, if not 999. I think it was 999 double triple nine minus 0.1 away from me in 3. This is where then we got Adam Copeland picks up Malachi Black. This is where he tried to send him right to the left corner, but this is where Malachi Black countered and threw him instead. Like he threw him right on the outside of the ring to the point that he fell right through the cage door, right into the left side of the steel cage. This is where then we got Malachi Black trying to collect him. This is where we got Adam Copeland and then was you try to collect him, try to send him back in the ring, but Adam Copeland then counter, threw him right to the barricade. This is where we got both men down. This is where we got them eventually slip right back up, but this is where we got outside interference, which was the House of Black members and minions, which was Buddy Matthews and what's his name? Brody King, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is where they came in. This is where they looked like they were about to help Malachi Black with Adam Copeland. But at the same time, this is where once they charged right towards him, this is like they turned around and turned on their leader of the House of Black. And I was like, like it's like exactly how I predicted. But no, like that was all just an elaborate trick, and they turned around, and this is where we got Brody King that hits a big, intimidating clothesline that I've ever seen anybody did in all of professional wrestling. Over even the likes of John Bradshaw Layfield as well, even though he's like an expert of that maneuver. This is where they brought him back in the ring. This is where they thought they could. This is where Malachi Black thought he can finish him off with a black mass kick, but this is where the lights went out. This is where we got red lights coming in. This is where we saw someone was created a hole and poked it out once the lights went back on, like when it was red lights. This is where we saw Brody King try to see who's the intruder, but this is where he clobbers him. This is where then he did the same with Brody Matthews. This is where he took both guys down. And this is where he hits an impaler right onto, I believe, Buddy Matthews after he took down what's his name, Brody King, but he end up with a black mass kick right into the face. But this once he turned around, like this is where Adam Copeland went out of nowhere and speared him more out of nowhere than his former rated RKO tag partners RKO finishing maneuver. He just did right behind him, after him. This is where he spears him out of the ring. This is where we got. this is where then we got what's his name? This is where then we got what's it? This is where we got Adam Copeland to grab a few pieces of barbed wire, like, or maybe just two pieces, if I'm not mistaken. This is where he wrapped it around. What's his name? Malachi Black. This is where he choked him out with it by putting it around his neck and his mouth and his forehead. This is where he was like they had nowhere else to go. Like he. This is where This is where I believe this is where like Adam Copeland choked him out to the point that he didn't nowhere else. He had nowhere else to go. He fainted. Is where he. This is where then the referee called for the bail because Adam Copeland beat him by a knockout submission, and he remained as your TNT champion. I want to give a big congratulations to the Rated R Superstar. It had me sports entertained, like to the point that it made me want to put it on the top 5 best matches of the night in of tonight's AEW Double or Nothing in 2024. This is where I'd say this is in 5th place because Ospreay's getting 4th place when he fought Roderick Strong. This is where then we got Adam Copeland celebrated with what's his name with Gangrel. With Gangrel have to carry him out of there. Like I was like, this is very hilarious. I was like, even though like I'll give like some other angle of the goofy wrestling of the night, but it won't be unfortunately it won't be this right here. I'll say second. I'll say this is 2nd place of goofy wrestling of the night, and yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below what your thoughts is about. Do you think that it was a good idea that Gangrel help Adam Copeland out to retain his TNT championship? And I totally forgot that they put the was wrapping barbed wire around his arms and his torso and then around his head, like if they were trying to crucify him, like with a spiky crown, like how the that's like the soldiers of the Pharisees and the Sadducees like did to Jesus Christ, which like for those Christians right there, it kind of remind me of what like of the past of the season of Passover of Easter for those that are Christians and believers of God and Jesus. By the way, but that's another story for another day. But anyway, this is where we move on to the 3 main event matches, starting off first with the TBS Championship with the champion Willow Nightingale taking on the CEO Mercedes Moné. And yeah, this match was a massive success. And it gets the 3rd place spot, of course, like because the Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage was pretty good itself, and also and this Anarchy and Arena match definitely gonna get the blockbuster, the home box office, what that the golden home box office award of the night, I guess you could say. It was so damn good, yeah. But this is where we got, we start off the match with a special introduction for the CEO because this is her debut match of AEW, and this is her return in the ring in over a year, since 12 months. And then this is where, she got her red and gold and black on. This is where, like, she entered the ring with these like virtual reality dressed up like marching band kids, I guess you could say, or these guys that were playing the drums with this with a glow in the not glow in the dark. I'll say more like lighting in the dark like with these colorful lighting in the dark lights, like with these ladies dressed in these flamingo dresses, like if they were in some kind of like some kind of a casino. This where they were this is where they start doing their dances and their marching, and they start playing the CEO's theme music with Mercedes Moné with this special introduction with this jacket on. This is where we got this is where then we got Mercedes Moné entered the ring. And this is where we got Willow Nightingale came out the ring with Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander. It seemed like she wanted them in the ring and ringside for some reason, but not because like she was going to do something dirty and sneaky, which I figured out was not going to happen because she don't need to do that in order to win the championship. But this is where we get I do indeed get the match started. But let's start off with let's start off with what's her name? With Mercedes Moné talking head right onto Willow Nightingale. This is where then she answered back, starts saying, this is where I was thinking like Mercedes Moné was like, yeah, I'm going to take back what's mine, and I'm going to do that by taking your championship from you. And this is where Willow Nightingale's like, oh yeah, like I'd like to see you do it. This is where once Willow Nightingale was getting ready and be a girl of her words, is where then Mercedes Moné then back down and then step right on the outside like how Batista did back in 2010 when John Cena was ready to get his WWE Championship rematch clause against the Animal. But she did this for a little while until Willow Nightingale decided to grab her personally. This is where she started tossing her around. This is where then we got this is where I believe we what move she started off first? It was I believe trying. No, I don't think she was trying to go for the Dr. Bomb, at least not just yet. Or was she? No, it was no. I believe she hit her with like with a suplex. Like a standing suplex. I believe this word. Then she hit her with but I believe a German suplex. I believe this is where we got this is where she sent her right into the outside. This is where then she goes for go for the Dr. Bomb. But it looked like she was going for the out on the announce table, but she decided to hit her right onto the out on the announce table. Oh, not the hardest part of the ring apron. Like she landed her hard, like back first. I was like, yeah, that looked very painful. Like I feel bad for the CEO, like in this match. Like, and it seemed like she was definitely not going to win this match, and it looked like history was going to repeat itself. Except luckily, like she did not get injured. That's all I'm going to say right now until I get to that point. This is where we get Willow Nightingale try to go for what's that? A Dr. Bomb again, but this is where we got Mercedes Moné then took control. This is where she got her in this sideways ankle lock like maneuver. But this is where Moné like maneuver, but this is where her maneuver got countered by Willow Nightingale. This is where she started going for an ankle lock right onto her. This is where we got them hitting submission maneuvers like all night long. Like if there was gonna be no next year or even no, I'll say like or even no next decade or even century. I would rephrase that as like they were hitting the moves like if there was no tomorrow, no next week, no next year, no next decade or century. But y'all get the point. But this is where we got Willow Nightingale hit this devastating maneuver like right onto Mercedes Moné, which it was like what's that like she curled her left leg. This is where she slammed it right onto to the top corner of the ring apron. This is where it messed up her leg really bad. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was the same leg that got injured back at New Japan Resurgence. This is where, yeah. But anyway, this is where we got then what else happened? Like this is where like then Willow started messing with that leg and doing an ankle lock, but no, first she did a what's that maneuver? Texas Cloverleaf, like if she was the Rhea Ripley of the women's division, All Elite Wrestling. But this is where we got like her. She didn't lock it in for too long because she spun her around about like 5 loops until she slammed her right to the right side. But this is where somehow Mercedes Moné then counter out of it. This is where then she hit a what's that the springboard arm drag right onto the pillow. This is where we got her then go right up on the upper right side. This is where in the middle middle turnbuckle. This is where she hits a meteor right onto the head of Willow Nightingale. This is where we got but this is where she tried to go for a pinfall, but this is where Willow Nightingale then kicks out at 2.999 double triple nine miles one away from being 3. This is where then we got Willow Nightingale got back in control. This is where then she I believe hit her with a what's that maneuver? Death Valley Driver right off in the bottom turnbuckle. Like this is where she tried to go for a cannonball, but this is where Mercedes Moné moved out of the way. This is where then she, I believe, tried to go for a Monet maker, like which Willow Nightingale somehow flipped right out of it. This is where then she gets the what was it the try to go for a Doctor Bomb, but this is where Mercedes Moné flips right out of it. This is where then she got her right into a got her into what's that maneuver? Uh what's that figure four leg lock? But this is where we got Will Nightingale managed to grab onto the ref ropes. This is where we got Stokely Hathaway and Chris Down was like, "Come on, girl, like you can do this. Like, come on, like don't let her intimidate you. Don't let her beat you. Like let her, don't surrender. Don't give up." And this is where we got Will Nightingale then. They got out of this submission hold. This is where we got Mercedes go for what move did she went for? She goes for a backstabber as well, but this, when she got to go for a pin, she gets denied by Willow with a one with the 2.7. This is where we got her right on the top rope, but this is where Willow Nightingale, I believe, got her right in the air. This is where then she hit her with an avalanche. What move was it? It was what was it? I believe it was an avalanche suplex or something like that. Or yeah, this is where she tried to go for a pin, but this is where Mercedes Moné kicked out at 2.999 double triple nine minus going away from being 3. This is where then they were on the outside at one point. This is where then we got Mercedes throw Willow right into the top corner of the in the ring, back in the ring. This is where then she shoved Chris Statlander. This is where Chris Statlander was very provoking, angry, and along with Stokely Hathaway was like you need to watch. You need to look at. You need to worry about what Monet's doing and not what the Pillows doing. This is where they start getting pissed off. This is where we got Chris Statlander nearly grab onto Mercedes Moné and probably power bombed the CEO right into the announce table, like how she did to me at that autograph signing table on AEW Fight Forever. And I was like, maybe it's a good thing I was not in attendance at Double or Nothing, or else Chris Statlander would have saw me and then done that to me first. Like grab me out of my seat in the audience, then send me right onto the announce table, like where Tony Schiavone, Taz, and Nigel McGuinness and Excalibur was sitting at. This is where, luckily none of that happened. But this is where the referee was too distracted. This is where we got Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander was like turn around, like you should be looking at the match. And this is where we got Mercedes Moné to try to attempt to go for her Monet maker to get the guarantee. But this is where Willow caught her by surprise, kicked her in the gut, hit her with the Doctor Bomb, and then she had her pinned for 1, 2, 3, and maybe even more, like about up to 5,000 metaphorically. This is where Aubrey Edwards turned around when Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander finally got her attention. This is where Aubrey Edwards counted to 1, Aubrey Edwards counted to 2, but this is where Mercedes Moné got the right arm up at 2.9999999 double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being 3. But yeah, but it seemed like that every move that Willow, the Pillow, Nightingale, and Night Terror try to do to the CEO, Mercedes Moné, she always keeps coming up short, like just an inch of a shortness. But this is where then Willow Nightingale to go right up on the mid ropes. I believe she was trying to go for like a cannonball mid rope dive, but this is where Mercedes Moné then try to go for a move right off the top, like in an avalanche position. But this is where Willow push her right on the way. This is where we got her trying to dive on the Moné. But this is where she caught her right in the air. This is where she put her right on her back. This is where she hits her with the Moné maker, which I believe it did not. It seemed like it wasn't like a full force impact, but Willow Nightingale managed to sell it anyways. This is where she goes for the pin. She got the 1, 2, 3. And I was thinking to myself, like, wow, like the CEO really just did it. And she became the new TBS champion. And the winner of this match and became the new champion, the CEO, Mercedes Moné, which I should do it like this. Hopefully I did it correctly, or maybe do it like this perhaps. But yeah, I want to give a big congratulations to her, and And what do you think? What's next for her as the TBS champion? And who's going to be her next challenger for that belt? Which we're going to probably going to figure out this Wednesday on AEW Double or Nothing. I wouldn't be surprised to even do an open challenge like how Adam Copeland's doing with the Brother Championship, which is the TNT Championship. But this is where we got Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander was very disappointed. Well, Stokely Hathaway was more the more upsetting the more upsetting guy into this friendship group. This is where he started yelling at Willow Nightingale. He was like, he was like, all you had to do is just beat her, like, and all you had to do is just hit her with the doctor bomb like you did last year, and make sure that she does not do anything sneaky or slick. And I was thinking to myself, like, maybe she did something sneaky here, like make Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway look bad, like if they're causing distractions to put her as her favor. But at the same time, she didn't really do anything that was dishonest. Like the CEO just won fair and square. Like she just beat Willow Nightingale, like, and finally got her revenge. I guess she's like the Liv Morgan of AEW now, and she won a women's championship out of it too. But even though it's not like the world championship in the women's division, but it's a mid card. But still, it's just as prestigious as the AEW Women's World Championship, if not more relevant than the championship time Toni Storm's holding on. Well, I would say the only thing that's making it relevant is Toni Storm herself, like, and she's a popular figure right now, and everybody's loving her, like, and they're loving her work as this 1920s actress character that she's maintaining at this point. But back to the post-match segment, this is where we got Stokely Hathaway start shouting him. This is where Chris Statlander had enough, and this is where she pushes off Stokely Hathaway. She was like, back off. Like, she always, like it's so what she lost. Like, she still gave it her all, and she did not, like, she didn't look weak and defeat. And then this is where then Chris Statlander tried to help out Willow Nightingale to get out of there, so she won't be more embarrassed than she already was. Like when she got defeated by the girl that she beat last year at New Japan Resurgence. But this is where we got Chris Statlander then help Willow Nightingale try to get up right on the ramp. But as soon as they get past it, this is where she clothesline Willow Nightingale, like if she was Kevin Owens, what he did to Sami Zayn back 10 years ago in 2014 when he won the NXT Championship from Neville, or should I say the Future Pack, of course. This is where then we got what's his name? Stokely Hathaway was being very happy with what Chris Statlander did, and I was like, I should have known this was going to happen. Like whether if Willow retained or not, I was thinking about that. Chris Statlander could be a jealous best friend here, and he can either challenge her for the championship or try to be tired of being in Willow's shadow, and then for her losing the TBS championship is the straw that broke the camel's back. And then this where, but and not because I have some kind of vendetta against Chris Statlander, like how Mercedes Moné had a vendetta against Willow Nightingale when she took like about 12 months of in-ring action, which she finally made her in-ring debut tonight. And I'm very happy for the CEO about that, by the way. She's finally back in the ring, and now we're going to see plenty of more of her now that she's the TBS championship, and she's already been all elite from the past 2 months. Even if she didn't win the championship, something tells me that we would have seen her. Perhaps she would have gone after Time is Toni Storm, which I'm not sure would have been immediately. Maybe it would have been like in a contenders like match, or even at the what's that match, the women's Owen Hart tournament. I could see her do that, and she could fight her at Wembley Stadium if she didn't beat Willow Nightingale tonight, but she did. And then to make matters worse, make more matters worse to Willow, she also got betrayed by her two best friends, including Chris Statlander. And let me know down in the comments below on what's next about this. And I hate to be that guy, but I guess I told you so, Willow. Be careful and keep an eye. When I say keep an eye on Chris Statlander, because she might be coming after you, whether if you have the championship or not, whether you remain as TBS champion or not. But yeah, she learned that the hard way by getting backstabbed. More likely, I'll say. getting front stab, I guess you could say, which I'm not sure if it got the same ring to it as getting backstab. So I guess I could just stick with the basic. I guess just stick with the basic. What's that metaphoric catchphrases? But yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below what's next with this AEW. What happened went down with AEW Double or Nothing. This is where we got getting this match in Double or Nothing as well. Like, and do you think that it's gonna turn into some kind of a main event, like, or not main event? I'm talking about number one contenders like feud, like whoever wins, like at Forbidden Door or any other big AEW event, they're gonna go after Mercedes Moné and reclaim their TBS championship, whether it be in Chris or Willow, like whoever wins, which I think Willow's gonna win, and we could see like a rubber match with the CEO and the Pillow. But let me know down in the comments below if you think that's going to lead up to that, or do you think we're going to see both Willow and Chris Statlander going to take a break from TBS championship picture and then just going to be in this non-title feud with one another? And then for Mercedes, like who do you think is going to be her next challenger for now that she's the TBS championship? But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of that in the comments. But let's move on to the second main event match, which is Swerve Strickland, which we got Prince Nana coming into the ring with Swerve Strickland once he was out there with his AEW championship, entering the ring. And then this is where we start off the match with them grappling, going back and forth on who's going to win the war, which it was, I believe, won by Swerve Strickland. This is where he then hit his usual moves, like some drop kicks, some suplexes, what's that? What move was it? Snap. I'm not sure if he does snapdragons. No, I'm not sure. I'll say more likely. What's that? Snap mirror and that big elbow strike right into the back of Christian Cage until Christian Cage came back and then started hitting his moves like the back DDT. But when he tried to go for a pin, this is where Swerve kicked out at 2.7. This is where we got Nick Wayne and at first we got Nick Wayne's mother Shayna Wayne and try to go for go do some outside shenanigans right on with Christian Cage with her trying to grab onto the AEW Women's World Championship, and then not Women's World Championship. I'm thinking that this is the Women's Championship match. I mean, this is the Men's Championship match. I already talked about Serena Deeb and Timeless Tony Storm. I meant to say the AEW World Championship. Like this, is where the personality tried to prevent her of doing that, to giving it to Christian Cage when the referee wasn't looking until he turned back around, and this is where the referee said, "Hey, what are you doing, Priscilla?" And the Priscilla was like, "No, like you should be not looking at me. You should be looking at her because she's the one that's attacking. Trying to help Christian Cage win by dishonesty." And this is where the referee's like, I know you're like, I know you, like I've seen you did some dishonesty in the past before, so I don't trust you." And this is where he ejected him out of the match. This is where we got Personality was very ticked off that he got set up by the patriarchy. This is where once the Christian Cage then start doing his hostage punishments right onto Swerve Strickland right onto the what's in the bottom corner ropes. This is where the referee was distracted by Christian Cage by getting them out of the way. This is where we got Nick Wayne and Swerve Strickland was getting attacked by what's their names by the patriarchs with Christian Cage's pet dinosaur and his stepson Nick Wayne. They were double teaming it until they brought him back in the ring. This is where we got Christian Cage then try to go for a cover, but this is where Swerve Strickland kicked out at 2.9. This is where we got I believe this is where we got Christian Cage and go for a spear, I believe. Yeah. But I believe this is where Swerve Strickland then try to go for the Swerve Stomp right into the bottom left side, but this is where we got the spirit. But this is where Swerve Strickland still kicked out at 2.999 double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being 3. This is where we got some outside shenanigans with Nick Wayne and Kill Switch try to do something slick to Swerve Strickland, but this is where the referee spotted them. And I was like, it's about time they finally it's about time the referee starting to do his job. This is where we got this is where then we got the referee to tell all three of them, Shayna Wayne, her son Nick Wayne, and Kill Switch to get out of there. They were also ejected. This is where we got it was only Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage. This is where they fought on the outside. This is where we got Christian Cage and try to go for a Kill Switch right outside. But this is where Swerve Strickland flipped right out of it, rolled him up into like a snapmare. This is where he did a swerve stomp right onto Christian Cage, where he was laying flat on the ground. I was like, yeah, man, like these tables will never break. Like even if you try to purposely do whatever method of hitting whatever move in there, whatever method like of a move that like whatever move that you hit, like in this case it was like something minor. I was like, what is up with these announce tables? Like, excuse me. What is wrong with these announce tables now? Like nowadays, like they're not like easy to break these days unless you do a major slamming maneuver right onto a ginormous wrestler or someone that's a meteor in the side, whether it's their weight or their size. Like it always has to do with that, like rather than being any size, like whether if it's big or small, like whether if it's whether if you're skinny or heavy or tall or short, like it has to matter with like what's your size and weight, like rather than being anybody that can be slammed and it can be easy to break. But whatever material they use on the announce table, it's like very thick and very thick and very too stable to the point that even if you hit like I don't know like a rock bottom or RKO, it'll still be standing. Like even though like you just hit that specific move, like that used to guarantee that that announce tables will collapse like sooner or later. But this is where none of that mattered because Swerve Strickland brought him back in the ring. This is where we got him going for I believe big pressure right onto Christian. This is where we got Christian rolled out of it. This is where he tried to go for a roll up. This is where he kicked out. This is where he goes into the bot. Then Christian Cage didn't go for what's that? This is where the Christian Cage then lured him to a trap right into the upper left corner of the turnbuckle. This is where he tried to go for a big splash onto him, but this is where Christian Cage throws that leg swing and kick right into the face. This is where he got back in the ring with him. This is where he then try hit him with what move next? What next? I believe he was trying to. No, it was. No, this is where they tried to bring him right into the apron, but this is where Swerve Strickland counter out of whatever control he had on him. This is where he sent him. This is where he hits a right strike right into the face. This is where Swerve then ran right to the right corner side rope. This is where he tried to go for a suicide dive, but this is where Christian Cage moved out of the way right on time. This is where he stopped himself from getting hit face first right on the top part of some of the steel steps that Christian Cage set up for him to get what's that like get slammed on, but I think it backfired on him and the Swerve slammed him instead right on to some of the steel steps. But yeah, this is where Swerve Strickland then but still accidentally hit his face right onto the what's that the bottom corner of the steps. This is where we got this is where then we got the referee was distracted just only to Christian Cage in the ring. But this is where we got Nick Wayne to go for a springboard cutter by jumping right off the similar steel steps, slam him right to the ground. This is where he threw him right in the outside. This is where we got oh yeah, I forgot to say that Swerve Strickland both him and Killswitch got ejected. This is where Swerve Strickland then hit a swerve stomp onto right onto what's his name? Kill switch and then hit a body drop on Nick Wayne when he tried to charge at him. But this is where I guess he got some so-called revenge right onto what's his name? What's that? Right onto this is where then Christian Cage hit a kill switch right on the Swerve Strickland, but he kicked out at 2.99999. That double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being 3. This is where then we got Prince Nana chase after Nick Wayne with a steel pipe, and I was dying with laughter when he was doing it. I was like, yeah, this is definitely getting goofy wrestling of the night. This is where this is definitely getting goofy, the number one goofy wrestling of the night because, yeah, even when Prince Nana's not trying to be a clown, like, he's still being a hilarious clown. Like, no matter what he does, like, yeah, he's very hilarious. Like, and this is where we got Christian Cage to try to go for a spear. It wasn't a guarantee like it was with the kill switch. Like, they got a guaranteed kill switch on that move, but yeah, it's still a guaranteed victory. That's what we got. What else happened? Like, this is where we got but this is where Swerve Strickland came back. This is where we got this is where at first he tried to go for a house call, but this is where we got Christian Cage move out of the way. This is where he finally does hit a spear, but he still kicked out 2.999. This is where then we got Swerve Strickland managed to hit the house call right onto him. But this is where he went right up on the top rope on the upper left side, hits the swerve stomp right onto the head of Christian Cage. This is where then he's like, nope, it's not over yet. This is where then he went right back, hits the house call again right onto the head of Christian Cage. This is where he goes for the pin. He gets the 1, 2, 3, and still your AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Swerve Strickland, and then this is where we got Prince Nana came in back in the ring. This is where he celebrated with him. This is where it was like, yeah, like you did it, like you still are AEW World Champion. This is where Swerve Strickland celebrated like all around the arena. Like first started off in the ring, and then went to the audience, and then raising his hand held high with the All Elite golden plates and a black strap on his hands, and then this is where he's like, "I'm still your AEW, and this is my second title defense," and he's gonna remain as AEW champion like for many more months to come, if not years. But let me know down in the comments below. Do you think this deserved a second place match of the night, and do you think that the right competitor won and walked out of Las Vegas in the MGM Grand Garden Arena as the AEW World Champion? But I'll give him a ginormous, super duper, remarkably humongous congratulations of retaining his AEW World Championship. And who's going to be his next challenger? Maybe at AEW Forbidden Door, perhaps. Well, I believe he's going to have another title defense at AEW in the I'll say somewhere in the next couple of weeks. I'm not sure who it could be, but it's going to be an open challenge with Swerve Strickland could successfully retain his belt on there, and then we could possibly see him face someone from New Japan, whether if it's a Nick Nemeth or David Finlay or anybody that's in the main event scene of New Japan Pro Wrestling that can earn an opportunity. Let's hope it's not Hiroshi Tanahashi for the third straight time this year. Like first it was with John Moxley, and then the second year was MJF. Now this year we're wondering who's going to be Swerve Strickland's next challenger from New Japan Pro Wrestling for next month's pay-per-view, which is both crossover, both AEW and New Japan's pay-per-view of a crossover of Forbidden Door. But we're gonna have to wait and see who can that possibly be, and let me know in the comment section right down below about that. But let's move on to the next match, which is the main event match of the night, which was the Elite. They were heading out to the ring, but before they could even get in the ring, inside the squared circle. This is where we got three hooded men, which was none other than Dax the Axe, Dax Harwood, and Cash the Dash Wheeler, right, and the American Dragon Brian Danielson that came in the ring. And also, before I get into more in the match, I wanted to give a shout out to Justin Roberts of using the swear word and to introduce the Anarchy in the Arena match. This is where we got this is where but he calls it the Sugar Honey Iced Tea Show, which it was not a show about cold, refreshing, sweet beverages, but it was about it's gonna be a big hot mess, which is the S word, the S bomb, I guess you could say. But yeah, he announced it as a match like that. This is where we got but this is where we got but yeah, this is where we got what's their names? We do get the match, and it end up with Brian Danielson and FTR giving the fight to Nicholas and Matthew Jackson, and what's their names that Nicholas Matthew Jackson and the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada, and the scapegoat that loved crying people rivers, Jack Perry. And this is where they somehow got a disadvantage. This is where we got a Darby Allin that managed to come out the ring. It took him like an extra minute, I guess you could say, and they started playing his music the whole time when they were in this brawl, and there was nothing to stop it because there was no what's that called? There's no rules, I guess you could say. Yeah, no rules. So it was like a free for all with everybody throwing fists on one another. This is where we got, but the Young Bucks, once they knocked down one of the baby faces. This is where it was like, all right, shut up, stop this horrible music, and play our theme music, like something that's more fun to hear. And I was like, no, like I think Darby Allin's theme music is more better. I was like, because it's more catchy, like with the theme song doing. Then I fell doing. I was like, no, it's more catchy, and this I know Darby Allin's more catchier, and the more Darby Allin's theme music is more the catchier and the more fun and the entertaining music that you could listen to in all of professional wrestling. This is where, but luckily Brian Danielson told him they cut the sugar honey iced tea off, the refreshing beverage was not the sweet refreshing beverage was not a DJ of tonight's pay-per-view. This is where Danielson started telling him to play some music that's more in the fighting spirit, which they did. It was kind of like music that would be in the fighting scene in a movie, like which they were beating the holy hell out of each other. And they even brought this on the outside into the audience, and this is where we got Jack Perry and Darby Allin was fighting backstage in the hallways. This is where we got Darby Allin then threw what's his name, Jack Perry, right into this silver metal cooler of ice, and I was like, it seems like that Darby Allin is crying him a river now. And then this is where, but yeah, and I think he was probably partially upset that one of his favorite wrestlers, CM Punk's no longer there, but he's in the other company that we're probably going to see tomorrow night on the from a certain Stamford, Connecticut based wrestling show, I guess you could say. But this is where we got him did that. This is where he then sent him right into the corner of his equipment boxes until we got Jack Perry somehow counter and threw him right into that corner. This is where he choked him out with a sleeper, and this is where he knocked him out for a little while. This is where then Jack Perry came back in the ring. This is where he tried to do like a 3-on-4 disadvantage. This is where they did so for a while until Darby Allin came back in the ring. This is where we got him then fighting Jack Perry, and the rest of the Elite. Until Danielson got back up, this is where he started helping them out, fighting the guys, and then this is where we got FTR. Before all this is where we got FTR then then were fighting in a 2-on-2 situation in the ring with them trying to go for double suplexes, but this is where we got the Young Bucks flipping right out of it. This is where they start going for try to go for super kicks, but they move out of the way. This is where they start hitting some clotheslines and some punches. This is where they start playing some wrestling tennis on one another. Like who's going to be the better man in this match? This is where it looked like the FTR was going to win, even though they were not going to hit the they did not hit the shatter machine whatsoever. This is where we got this is where then we got that's where they hit a super one of the Young Bucks boys, I believe it was Nicholas Jackson. That's where they hit a superplex while the top rope in the splash. They probably would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling rainmaking kid that had to ruin the fun. This where luckily we got Danielson that intervened and took out the rainmaker but this is where once he was in a fight with the Young Bucks and then send them on the outside. This is where he got caught with a surprise with an attack by Kazuchika Okada, and this is where he threw him right to barricade. This is where then he clobbered him with a clothesline. This is where then we got but this is where then we got the Young Bucks then send Darby Allin right onto the what's that that's where they send him right backstage with back on the backstage by putting him on that right onto that step where it puts that brings the wrestler down or up, like more likely in this case, like brings the wrestler down with this little what's that stand where it shoots him down right under and bring him back to the backstage area. Like usually it's used like when you have like a little podium to lift up the wrestler that's entering the ring, like and making their entrance, like when they're making their entrance with their theme music. But this time, the Young Bucks told him to bring Darby Allin down and put him down onto the ground, right backstage. This is where we got Jack Perry was wandering backstage. This is where he was right in Gorilla before this is where this is where we got Jack Perry was backstage. This is where he ran into the gorilla position side of the backstage area before entering back in the front entrance on the stage. That's where he decided to grab onto what's his name, Tony Khan. That's where then he brought him out on the stage. But before we got into that, this is where we got Bryan Danielson was fighting what's his name. Bryan Danielson was fighting the Young Bucks. This is where they were too much for him though. This is where we got the Young Bucks then hit the TK driver right on top of the poker chips that was part of a display on of the pay-per-view, like because it give it that casino feel because they are in Las Vegas tonight. On tonight's pay-per-view on May 26th. This is where then we got but FTR then came in and started helping Bryan Danielson. Danielson started going for suplexes right onto the Young Bucks, but this is where the Young Bucks made it go backfire on Cash Wheeler. And and this is where they hit a suplex right onto him, right into to one of the poker chips that was laying right to the side. This is where then we got Dax Harwood try to fight back and start making a comeback, and this is where I believe he hit one of them with a pile driver until we got Kazuchika Okada to try to help out the Young Bucks, but this is where I'm not sure he was much of a help. This is where we got Jack Perry indeed did got what's his name? Tony Khan right onto the stage. This is where we got Darby out back in the we got him back in the arena. This is where he was holding the same blow torch. Well, that at least I thought he was holding. Well, he could be, but then again, it could be a totally different different flamethrower that he had right into the right from the go home show of AEW Dynamite this past what's that Wednesday, and he must have kept it on him since then. I mean, after all, he came in AEW that arena like with Tony Khan when she lifted the ban off of him being ever stepping foot in that ring. in that arena that they had the go home show of AEW Dynamite, because yeah, he is the president of AEW and the owner. But it's where that's where like I was thinking to myself, like Tony Khan must be must be thinking that he's reconsidering or he was no what he's no he was he was must have been reconsidering bringing back Jack Perry. And he should have he must have fired the wrong guy, and the guy that thought he was worried for his life, which is the Chicago-made wrestler, was his sleep is what's the sleeping paralysis demon, but with Jack Perry is the actual demon that he should be fearing. But this is where Jack Perry tried to choke out Tony Khan like once he got him right on stage. But luckily he got his life saved by his other employee, that's the other pillar of AEW, the other four pillar, which is none other than Darby Allin. He came back in the ring. This is where he did not think twice, and he just started blowing the blowtorch. He started blowing it, starting off with Jack Perry's pants. This is where he set Jack Perry the rest of his body on fire. This is where he started spinning around like get it out, telling the Young Bucks to get out, which they did like 2 seconds later, like with the the fire extinguisher. This is where he started blowing the flames out, like and then he was back to normal, and this is where he's like, oh thank goodness, I feel much better. This is where trying to do the same with the Young Bucks, but he got outnumbered by the EVPs and the AEW Tag Team Champions. This is where they eventually got him in a 3-on-1 situation. This is where they decide. This is where the Kazuchika Okada then grab onto their shoes, their Reebok shoes that they're sponsoring right now. But this time it got what's that barbed wire attached to them right in the bottom side, like if it was 2021 again, like when they lost their AEW Tag Team Championships against the Lucha Brothers. I believe it was at the end of summer, which that was like almost 2 years ago, which is actually 2.5 years ago. But yeah, this is where Tony Schiavone's like what he said. It was very funny, which I think I'm reconsidering calling this is the number one best match of the night, because Tony Schiavone said like they are hanging his ass upside down and trying to super kick the hell out of Darby Allin with those unforgiving shoes, like or something like that. And me and my mom was dying with laughter when Tony Schiavone said this. So I was like, Tony Schiavone is something else. Like he just really had to say this out of the blue. Like he had me dying. But luckily, this is where Bryan Danielson came in. Like after they super kicked Darby Allin like too much to the point that it looked like Darby Allin was done for, and it seemed like FTR and Danielson needed a new tag partner. I mean, a new tag to replace, which I thought we were going to see very soon, but unfortunately that did not happen. But this is where we got Danielson coming in to intervene. This is where he started whacking the Young Bucks right in the face with the shoes, like we got that had the barbed wire stuck right beneath it. This is where we got then Bryan Danielson started going for yes kicks right onto the Young Bucks. This is where then he tried. We tried to go for a running knee, I believe, which I believe he successfully did so. But this is where we got. But this is where we got Kazuchika Okada then. But this is where we got Kazuchika Okada then try to go for a Rainmaker, but no, he had a running knee right onto Kazuchika Okada, yeah. And this is where we got one of the Young Bucks super kicks Danielson. This is where, but we got FTR to come in. This is where they start hitting, playing wrestling tennis back to the Young Bucks until Dax Harwood got hit face first right with the steel chair, and this is where we got Matthew Jackson hit it right into his face to the point it exploded like if it had some firecrackers inside. Like I was like, even if that was normal, like don't you think it's a little too early to be referencing the 4th of July, even though you're like about actually a month and a half, which I guess I'm horribly mistaken on that, by the way. But that's another story for another time, for another day, of course. I can't wait, of course. I'm not sure we want to talking about it at this time, but anyways, but that's where we got. But this is where we got Brian Danielson was cleaning house with the Young Bucks and looked like he was about to win but and he would have gotten with the fans start chanting please help Darby with Brian Danielson finally helping Darby and this was please help Darby, fans were chanting that please help Darby and I forgot of talking about fans start chanting some, which I'm going to talk about in just very shortly. But it's where we got Brian Danielson finally got Brian Danielson finally got Danielson finally got Darby out of the ring. This is where we got insult to injuries happening at the time. This is where we got no, this is where Darby Allin hit a coffin drop first. The Kazuchika Okada, yeah, that's what. Then they put that. This is where we got the Young Bucks to outnumber the TNT champion. Yeah, he hit a coffin drop right onto Kazuchika Okada when he tried to go for a rainmaker, but he hit him with that flying headset and stunner, then sent him right to the bottom right side is where he hit the coffin drop, and he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for the meddling EVP kids. Always causing trouble and havoc and interferences. But this is where none of that matters because we got Danielson coming in being playing Superman. And this is where once we got Danielson and help Darby Allin out, this is where he flipped him right out. But this is where he turns around and gets hit with a running knee out of nowhere by the scapegoat that loved crying rivers. And then this is where he goes for the pin and referee, and you will not believe this. Referee counted the one, referee counted the two, and then this is where we got the three as soon as Danielson. We soon as got three after the two, and the winner of this match is the Elite. And I was like, and it's not gonna look good. It looks like they're gonna be adding more new rules and stipulations. Like if you cannot do exactly what they tell the employees don't do exactly what they tell them to do, they're either gonna get a fine between $500 to a $5,000 fine, or they're gonna get fired from the company. Well, I'll say not exactly in the company, but I'll say in kayfabe, of course. But you get what I'm saying. So I wouldn't be surprised, even if they sneeze, even if an employee, if it's an executive or a wrestler, if they sneeze or even talk while they're eating, or what's that, or what else that Vince McMahon had that was a rule that wrestlers cannot do, once they're in under contract with him and when they're in the what's that, the headquarters of or the HQ of of the Stanford based company, let me rephrase that. But I wouldn't be surprised whatever rule be or even saying the word wrestling or wrestlers, or even what's that called? Heels, baby faces, whatever band word, or even banning certain moves as well. And even do that by taking a shot at Vince McMahon. And whoever don't abide by him, they're gonna either get fined with a $500 or $5,000 fine, or they're gonna get the pink slip if they probably do it too much to the point that they're gonna reach their limits of not what's that Yeah, but you get the point. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what your thoughts on AEW Double or Nothing. I thought it was very super duper tremendously great, I guess you could say. It was absolutely fantastic. Like you would watch this any day and you would still be sports entertained, or should I say wrestling entertained, let me rephrase that. And because I'm not sure if it's sports entertainment anymore. Well, at least not outside of WWE. It's just professional wrestling. And I was 100% satisfied and about this match, and I mean about not match, this whole entire show. Even though three matches that I predicted that who was going to win the match was some kind of a dud, including the main event. And I forgot to say about the Willow and Mercedes match when fans were chanting, "Let's go Willow, CEO." like which I was saying, like, too bad I was not in attendance there, or else I would have started something similar to that, like of a chant. I was like I have a better idea, fans. Like it's kind of an embarrassing, like, but I got a chant for you guys to say to both the CEO and Willow, and I would say Willow the Pillow CEO, Willow the Pillow CEO, and let me know down in the comments down below and what's your thoughts onto this little, what's that phrase, like this little this little chanting phrase, like on what should be said onto AEW's on AEW's pay-per-view, like on as a fan, like. But I would be chanting Swerve's house as well, especially if Prince Nile was shouting it out. And I bet my nephew would probably even say that if he was in the attendance. But unfortunately, we weren't even there. But no worries, we got a chance to watch it at home, and Uncle Super Ninja Austin ordered the pay-per-view, and we watched it. Like, well, he only watched like part of it, only maybe only the AEW World Championship match and the Anarchy in Arena match, because he was because the rest of the but the first half of the day, like, he was having fun, like going out with his parents, like having fun, like on the outdoors, and also doing a little shopping for Memorial Day, because tomorrow night is the holiday, or not tonight, but all day tomorrow is going to be the holiday. Let me rephrase that. And yeah, again, let me know down in the comments section right down below how you're going to celebrate the holiday, and showing your respects to the veterans that protect us in this country, like when they went to war, in the military, in the army, and then and going to war, and in Iraq, and Gulf War, and all the other countries and cities, and that's outside of the United States. And I want to give my respect, and I want to tell all the veterans around the world, and wish them a happy Memorial Day, whether they're still alive or not. And I want to thank them for their service. Like, by the way, this one I might tell you guys that just take a little bit of a moment and show you my respects to all the veterans, including my father, which he's also a veteran himself. He went in the army. But I'm not gonna get into more details. Maybe I'll make a video about it one day, about what exactly who he served for in the army, in the military, like in the military community, of course. But that's another video for another day. But I'm gonna continue to talk about how I enjoyed AEW Double or Nothing tonight. It was like a 9 out of 10 success. And I'll give it about 4.5 stars out of 5. Like, they did a super duper splendid job. Like, it was very stupendous. I'll say I wouldn't be surprised if if it was more greater than AEW. What's that? All In, which I don't think it's nothing's not going to be All In. I think it's going to be the number one pay per view of the year. But tonight's pay per view, I'll say third best pay per view of all of 20 in the AEW side of the pond. But I'm gonna let you guys give me y'all's opinion about AEW Double or Nothing in the comments below. Did it give you a satisfaction, or do you think that it could have been better? Which I'm not sure if it could have gotten any better than what AEW had to offer to us. But I'd say the most craziest spot, like, that was like attempted, I guess you say, murder, what Simon would say, like it would be in the crime encounter on the Ups and Downs tomorrow, will be Darby Allin, like, trying to burn what's his name, Jack Perry, to death. I was like, my eyes were huge. I was like, he literally just burned Jack Perry, like, even though they had that planned out, but wow, like, that was completely ruthless. Like, and it's a totally different ball game than WWE is. Like if WWE set somebody on fire, it would be most likely like if it's an Inferno match, like if they throw them out of the ring, or put them right into the side of the ring that they burn them, or maybe even I guess you could light them on fire with a lighter or match. I mean, but not with a flamethrower though. Like, that's the first time I saw like any wrestling company use a flamethrower in a match. Like not even TNA would do that. Like, come on, man. Like I'll say not going too far, but you were absolutely bad. You were what's that like heartless and ruthless, Darby Allin. But I would say I'll give you some crops onto that spot. Like that was very frightening and very fun to watch. I gotta admit, like, and I guess like in kayfabe, Jack Perry deserved that for being a jerk, like and being a horrible person. Like and he got what he deserved on that, even though he did got the pinfall win and he managed to get the win for the the AEW guys and I mean for the elite guys, I should say the EVPs and the Rainmaker, I guess you could say, for his allies get the win. But despite not predicting this, like I still enjoyed tonight's AEW Double or Nothing. Hopefully, we get the same for AEW Forbidden Door, which that's going to be June 30th. And who's your prediction on who's going to win at who's your prediction on who's going to be fighting who and who's going to win that particular match that you're predicting? Let me know in the comments below. I'm not sure who's exactly going to be in this New Japan crossover pay-per-view on what who's going to be on the card, the match card on the New Japan on the New Japan crossover pay-per-view, I guess you could say. I'm gonna have to wait and see what's gonna transpire on what's going to transpire on what's that AEW Dynamite on the post show, like on the post show Dynamite, like 3 days after this wonderful pay per view. Yeah, and please give me your opinions about it in the comment section right down below. Yeah, I'll give it 4.5 stars on tonight's pay per view, and hope you guys enjoyed the review video. Hopefully, it wasn't too long or too dragged out. And if you did like the video, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button, subscribe, click the bell notification icon bell so you'll be the first one to know when I upload my latest videos. And also make sure to check out my Monday Night Raw review video, which will be the post-show Raw after King and Queen of the Ring, which was the pay-per-view night before Double or Nothing. And man, it was very fun to be a wrestling fan. Even though we didn't see the debut of the White Six faction with Uncle Howdy leading the charge and perhaps challenging Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. But maybe it's one thing that the reason why they didn't do that because maybe it was too soon that Uncle Howdy challenged Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. With him not even getting properly with him not getting properly built with the faction of the new Wyatt family, I guess you could say. But yeah, we're gonna probably see that on the post-show Raw, or maybe even the post-show SmackDown after King Queen of the Ring, when Cody probably wonders who's gonna be his next challenger. But it probably won't be at Clash of the Castle, maybe Money in the Bank, because it looks like that they're gonna skip Cody Rhodes from defending the WWE title at WWE Clash of the Castle. Maybe he's gonna defend it in the next couple of weeks on SmackDown, but not on the pay-per-view premium live event. Probably not until Money in the Bank, like when both world titles on the line. So make it fair for Damian Priest to defend his world championship against Drew McIntyre. And that's probably a main event Clash of the Castle, since that's been firstly announced at Clash. Now it's not at Saudi Arabia's King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view when Triple H was interviewed backstage by Kayla Braxton. And we're probably gonna see more build up to that like tomorrow night. And let me know down in the comment section right down below what's exactly gonna go down. Like when we're probably gonna see Chad Gable gonna be very disappointed with Otis, like not doing exactly what he wanted to do. But this is where we're probably gonna see the big man finally snap and turn on Chad Gable and attacking him and leave the Alpha Academy along with Maxine Dupree and Akira Tozawa, which they will not take any sugar honey iced tea from the 2012 Olympian. And then we're probably going to see more build up to this potential on-screen couple of Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio, which Dominic Mysterio will pretend that he was trying to help Becky Lynch to prevent Liv Morgan to complete her revenge tour, but it seemed like he accidentally, and I quote, like helped Liv Morgan beat Becky Lynch to gain the women's world championship, something that he did not want to happen. But it seemed like he did that to happen because it looks like he's replacing his original mommy and gain a new mommy with her becoming the new women's world championship, which is where we could possibly see some teasers right here tomorrow night with Liv Morgan. Claim probably would claim that Dominic Mysterio purposely helped her. Not it was not an accident, and she'll be like, "Come on, Dom, reveal it to the world that you really mean to help me out and not Becky, and you want me to finish my revenge." Which Dirty Dominic will be denying it at first, for now, until we'll get the Judgment Day. We'll deny any claims of and even the rest of Judgment Day will be denying that she's not going to be a part of Judgment Day. The only female that should be on there is Rhea Ripley, and once she comes back, Rhea Ripley will win back her women's world championship, which will possibly be at, I believe, SummerSlam. Yeah. I believe that's one of the reasons why they have Nia Jax beating Lyra Valkyria, so Lyra won't interfere in any championship matches between Ripley and Morgan in a title match. And then I can see what's going to be happening then, but we're going to be seeing some kind of clues and clues about it. Like with Liv Morgan saying she probably would finish her revenge tour, and this all thanks to Dirty Dominic, which Dirty Dominic will be like, again, because you take advantage of it. And Becky Lynch didn't took advantage of it first, which she should have done, and then make sure that Liv Morgan make sure that you didn't win the women's world championship match or something like that. But we're gonna see. We're probably the knife.
Yeah, mine.
I don't know. It was in here just the other day, but anyway, this is where we're probably gonna see some more QR codes, and they'll probably will give a date of it'll be like 05/20. 05/31/24, which that'll be the date of this Friday on SmackDown, which could possibly be if you get on the QR code mystery, y'all be on the middle of the show. It'll be a team you'll be making their debut at this Friday on SmackDown. Yeah, an air pump. Yeah.
A new one.
I see. Yeah. But this is where we'll see who's exactly gonna be this mystery faction that's been teasing a debut for quite some time now from the past month. And I guess I'm gonna give a full bet of it gonna be at the end of this week, this coming week on May 31st. But let me know down in the comments below when they're actually gonna be making their WWE debut and probably setting their sights on to the American Nightmare. And then with Nikki Cross side, it'll be with Bayley, which we could possibly see at Money in the Bank, where we'll see the Wyatt Six faction will take over all of the SmackDown roster, with the mid-card, tag team, and the women's championship and the men's heavyweight championship divisions, respectively. But we're gonna wait and see what's gonna happen then and there. But we're gonna just finish off by talking about how great AEW or nothing with especially with Ospreay versus Roderick Strong and Adam Copeland versus what's his name? Malachi Black was the all-time success as well, and Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné. Even though Willow Nightingale did not retain, but at the same time we see double great news from the CEO that she's the new not only she made her AEW in-ring debut and her in-ring return in over a year since her New Japan match against the Pillow, but she also won and finally got her revenge onto the Pillow and became the TBS championship. And also we got Will Ospreay also became champion as well, ever since he made his AEW debut. His first ever AEW championship, just like the CEO. And yeah, and he's the champion, and I'm wondering who's his next challenger could possibly be. Maybe it could be Roderick Strong in the rematch, but I will be more preferred that that Will Ospreay will do some kind of an open challenge, probably at AEW Collision or next week's Dynamite to build things up for Forbidden Door. And also Orange Cassidy getting the win with the surprise roll up was pretty was I guess somewhat interesting. Even though I would prefer something like dastardly and dishonest would could possibly happen, and we could see a teaser of between him or Trent Beretta could join the Don Callis family, but it seemed like that's not going to happen. And then we're going to see Don Callis going to give a contract to Will Ospreay though this coming Wednesday at AEW Dynamite when they're going to be in Los Angeles, California. I believe that's what he said. And I don't think he's going to join the Don Callis family. I think he's going to look like he might consider doing so, but he's going to decline his offer, whether if he does it respectfully or if he does it in a more stern way, like that, an assertive, like say, like he does not want to join him, he wants to do stuff on his own terms. But this is where he'll get probably ambushed from behind by Konosuke Takeshita, like either Konosuke Takeshita or anybody or anybody or anybody else that's in the Don Callis family. Like I'm not sure who got. I don't think it could be Kyle Fletcher. I don't think it's Powerhouse Hobbs either because he's injured. But I think Kyle Fletcher will join Will Ospreay and reunite as the United Empire. And then I'll say it could be a new member of the Don Callis family, though. It could be. I don't think it'll be Trent Beretta because this is where we got Renee Paquette then asking questions like, "What's next for him?" This is where Trent Beretta then said, "Like, talk right now," because I got embarrassed and I got embarrassed by that for nothing fruit that should have lost to me. And then this is where then he walked out of there. This is where he's like, this is where he tells what's his name, Asuka Rocky Romero to get away from him. This is where he left. And I was thinking and looking at the far distance, he was like, what this leads up to the former best friend member. And I'm not sure, like, if what's gonna follow up to this. Like, is he gonna join Don Callis, or do you think he's gonna take a break in AEW and we could possibly see him back? Like, is either a more sinister heel than he was when he betrayed what's his name? Betray Orange Cassidy, or he could go back as a babyface and reunite with the best friends. But I'm not sure if that's gonna happen anytime soon. Like. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see about that. But I'm not gonna leave you guys hanging. Like, and yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed the pay-per-view. I know I sure did. And even though, yeah, and also Kazuchika Shibata, like even like he did not join the money tree and turn on to Hook, even though he was against Hook. But I would say, but in a heel way, like attacking Hook and just winning the match by pinning Hook and becoming the new FTW with Jericho crowning him as the new FTW champ. But no, it was Brian Keith that helped Chris Jericho out the retain his FTW factions, like whether if you're a good guy or a bad guy. But we're gonna have to figure all that out, like as soon as this Wednesday on Dynamite, on what to like on what to expect, on what to expect, what they're gonna bring with them continuing like their show, like continuing like, or what not continuing, more likely what's gonna bring, like what they're gonna bring next into on what they'll bring next on AEW programming, like on the road to AEW Forbidden Door. But for now, I'm gonna say goodnight to you, SNA Assassinators. Hope you guys have a safe and peaceful night, and I'll see you next time with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. And thank you guys to watch this SNA podcast video. And hoping I'll see you guys tomorrow night around same time, if not sooner. But for now, yeah, just stay safe and stay ostinated. I'm not sure about assassinated uh, because you do not want to be killed by anybody. Like what would depending on what weapon that could be. Like whether if it's a sword, a knife, a gun, anything. So I just say just stay ostinated, you assassinators out there. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye, my SNA fans, and thank you guys for staying loyal and watching and stuff and to stop by and watch my videos. And there's gonna be plenty more videos where that came from, like whether if it's from wrestling or maybe at my outside wrestling video projects that I'm trying to work on. That's non wrestling related like non wrestling related content, whether it be an animation and or anime or football, which that's probably football's not probably going to be until the end of summer. While animation, I'm still trying to work on, or even trying to do like a TV series or a movie kind of review videos, like whether if it's from Netflix, Disney Plus, or Max, or whatever movie streaming service it may come from. I'm gonna probably try to do that in the foreseeable future. But for now, I'm going to let you go right here, and yeah, and wish you guys a good night, and see you guys soon, and happy early Memorial Day. Bye bye.